sun can start and going down. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, no, start and going down. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, no, no.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Just Des TV. Thank you guys for stopping by. So over here we do reviews, we do all kind of stuff. If you're new, I'm trying to branch out a little bit. I think I am. I just wanted to apologize for my absence last week. I had took a little mental break. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm a little bit busy at work. I had a whole training last week that kind of like drained me, and so I wasn't able to do any videos. And to be honest with you guys, I don't know how long I'm gonna keep reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I feel like ever since I started reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, my channel keeps like weird stuff is happening with my channel. And I don't know if they are like flagging my videos or if they're reporting my videos. I don't know what is happening, but I hadn't had this problem until I started reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I'm just being honest with y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna move Love and Marriage Huntsville to my Patreon page. I'm not 100% sure. Next season, I don't know if they come back with a next season. I will probably move it over to my Patreon. I don't think I'm gonna be reviewing it on YouTube, so I'm just being honest. But let's get into it because I missed last episode. So we're gonna get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. No More Nice Tish. Episode 6 starts off with Ken and Latrice still talking about the marriage and issue and stuff like that. And he wants to make sure that her intentions are pure, that she in fact wanting to marry him. He doesn't want Ken. I agree with what he said. He doesn't want to put his eggs all in one basket and then at the end of the day have egg on his face. He wants to make sure that he's investing in a situation that is going to have a result at the end. And he wants to make sure that she is on the same page as him. He's not going to waste time. I like the way that he communicates. I like the fact that he says what he means what he says, and let the chips fall where they may. I like the fact that he is able to communicate effectively to where we understand what he's talking about. She keeps blaming her past traumas and her ex, and I feel like that those are all excuses that she's going to make up for the whole season. Just do it. What's stopping you? Just do it. I mean, and I seen a picture of her ex-child. He is fine. But that's neither here nor there. I don't even care. Whatever the situation is with them, she's been in a relationship with Ken for about 3 years. I'm not saying the whole 5 years that they've been separated, but for about 3 years, because they didn't say exactly. But I feel like let it go. You're in a whole relationship, because this hood breakups that happen where people separate and don't ever get divorced or whatever the case may be is, I've heard of it for a while. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. But I feel like she's using that as an excuse to hold on and a crutch to hold on. And she needs to move on. It is what it is. You know, Ken is in a hurry to finalize their divorce, and I guess so that they can move on to the next step. And I feel like she needs to be on the same page as him. It's a joke at this point. It's a joke. And I feel like, why do they have to keep talking about it? Like, I don't really care. Like, why every episode since they've been introduced, this is the topic of the conversation? Like, everybody gotta know and everybody gotta have an opinion. I don't feel like everybody should know. I don't even care at this point anymore. I don't really care. Anyway, so we meet up with Nell and Chris. She's reorganizing her closet. You know, they talk about her shoes and how her shoes be all over the place, and she feels like she needs a new closet. And I felt like he feels that, you know, it's been a while and she needs a new closet, so he's gonna talk to somebody about it. They discuss the party, you know, and the hopes that the people who come to the party, who actually show up to the party, get along, because you know how this group could be a little bit rowdy. clashing and all that kind of stuff, personalities. It is what it is. We've been down this road for how many seasons already? Yeah, so they discussed the issue with the kids and the fact that, you know, how it's such a mess. And it's been that way for a while. His daughter, Lexi, is, and apparently now his ex-wife. I think I've seen a headline where his ex-wife made an appearance in the blogs and stuff. So they are constantly talking to the blogs about what's happening between him and Nell, what's happening with the relationship, what happened with the past relationship, how things are going. And I don't really care. We don't see them on the show. It's irrelevant. All they keep talking about is the negativity that they are spewing. But we don't know the behind scenes. We weren't there. We don't really know. I don't really care, to be honest with y'all. I don't. And it seems like the daughter is more focused on the material things that she's not getting as opposed to other things. And I'm just like, can we shoot that right along? If they're not going to be able to be on this season to defend themselves, I don't want to hear about it, to be honest. Kimmy and Marsau meet up with Tisha. Kimmy and Maurice meet up with Tisha and Marsau. They're having a meeting of the minds. They want to discuss the project and how things are going to move along. They want to discuss the fact that they actually want Marsau to bid like all the other contractors to keep it fair, but they really want him to work on the project. But Kimmy has her reservations because Marsau tends to leave projects unfinished or incomplete, right? So that's her reservation. So she wants them to take it seriously and complete the project, and she's gonna stay on top of them in order to do it. I don't see what the argument is. It's either you're gonna contract him or not. You have your reservations, so then go with somebody else. I guess they want him to be on the project to get a better deal. But then say that, and then say you're gonna choose him. But don't take us through all the ringer and act like you really don't want to work with him, knowing that he's gonna give you the better deal because y'all a family. It just makes no sense. Whatever. Marsau then says that the paid projects are the ones that takes precedence over the, just their regular projects that they do for themselves. And I'm just like, every project should take precedence regardless of what the fact is. It shouldn't take you years and years and years to finish projects. And that's pretty much what Kimmy is alluding to. A lot of his unfinished projects. But whatever, they're out. Some people see the glass half full, some people see the glass half empty. We can't change that. They let them know that they still want them to bid on the project, which is protocol for a project, especially if it's a legit project. Do what you want to do. Courtney meets up with Ken, and they discuss Martell, and then they discuss the divorce, and nothing really much. The same crap that's been going on for the last couple of episodes. I just think they're saying a lot of the same stuff and a lot of nothing at the same time. So we get to Courtney and Stormy and Latrice and Ken. They're on their way to Nell's party, and they discuss the fact that Tisha told Latricia to watch out for Nell and watch out for Stormy because they tend to be a little bit extra and they tend to switch up. And I'm just like, y'all don't know that about one another. Y'all all shady. So whatever. Do what y'all will with that information. I just feel like Tisha should be the last person telling anybody to watch out for anybody because we should just all watch out for you. They cut to a scene where Tisha and Marsau and Kimmy and Maurice they're also on their way to Nell's party, but then they discuss the shadiness. They discuss the fact that Nell could be a little bit much, and then they also discuss the fact that she got a text message from Stormy inviting her to the gala, and she doesn't understand why. She just thought it was weird, being that they haven't spoken since the reunion, and they exchanged words at the reunion, pill popping and all of that other stuff, and they haven't really settled that issue. But it's kind of confusing because Marcel said he settled the issue. Stormy said they settled the issue. Tisha's the only one with the issue. It's weird. It's weird. I feel like if you don't like Nell that much, or you have a beef with Nell, even if y'all haven't had a discussion about it, I feel like if you don't like her that much, then don't go. Don't go. Like, why do they tend to be around one another and they really don't like each other? It's perplexing to me, but it is what it is. Courtney says he only likes Martell and Chris. He said he doesn't really like Maurice because of the Kimmy situation and the fact that, all the stuff that he was doing when she was dealing with chemo. I wonder if y'all gonna jump on him for saying that, like y'all jump on everybody else. Y'all think that is just people, the fans that are having an objection against what he said about Kimmy during chemo. Kimmy, you gonna watch this back and watch that episode back and say something to Courtney? I'm just asking for a friend. So they get to the party and they meet up with Nell's people, meaning all of her children. They kind of explain why Lexi wasn't attending the party, and the fact that Nell was unfazed by the stuff that she had told the blogs. Marsau then proceeds to say that people always act unfazed about what others say about them, but he feels that it's a lie. He feels that you build your career up and to this successful point, and that what people say about you in media outlets you should be fazed by it. Now, the weirdest thing is they constantly, him and Tisha both constantly get online talking about how they're unfazed about what people say about them. So at this point, I really think that they all be talking about their butt. They don't talking out of their butt. They don't listen to what they say. I think they just be talking just to talk. And they think that somebody is stupid enough to miss the stuff that they say. And I'm just like, you was just online like a couple of weeks ago talking about how you're unfazed and you don't care and this and that, and you're going to do you and da-da-da-da. But then you turn around and get on the show and say that you should be phased, which we all know that you were phased, but you try to pretend that you're not. It doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. Just shut up and look. Just shut up. Just shut up and just sit there. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to respond. Like, you don't have to say anything. It's weird to me, but whatever. So Mel shows up. Mel shows up, and off top, Tisha starts off with a mess, talking about, I thought you said you wanted to have a conversation with Marceau. Address Marceau when you see him. And Nell is like, I don't think this is the time or the place to address that situation. She'll see him and address it at a different time, which I think that was classy. She didn't want to start no mess at Nell's party. She wanted Nell to enjoy her party, blah, 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 whatever. Classy. I would have did the same thing. This is not the time or the place. We can have this discussion another time. It is what it is. But no. Tisha was just up from here, child. She was up from here. She was throwing them drinks back, and she was up from here. Mel, I'm sure, okay, and then what I also wanted to say too is Mel will address the situation. She'll sit down and have a conversation with whomever about any situation that's happening between them, or any beef that she got with someone. So I'm sure she will address it. She doesn't need the cameras to do it. I feel like she will address it when she's ready and when the time is right. It is what it is. So Stormy and the crew show up. That's all of the people who was riding in the car with them. And then Nell shows up. Everybody's wondering, well, not everybody, mainly Tisha was wondering why she was so late to her party. And I'm just like, it's her party. She can do what you want to do. All of y'all be fashionably late. It is what it is. So it's whatever. So Chris and Nell, they dancing down the place. They having a good time. She's excited. She was excited that her kids had thrown her that party and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, she's just happy. Just leave people be. But of course not, because then they start talking, and then they start talking about age, and Tisha started talking about, you should be talking about your age. Don't hide it. You should be proud, blah, 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 blah. That's because before in a confessional, she said she don't know how old Nell is, but she thinks Nell is in her 60s and this is that. And I'm just like, you're making age jokes. You're taking. So she starts off again with the age. And I'm just like, girl, go sit down somewhere and shut up. Just, ugh. Then she starts talking about how Trisha being a personal trainer and the fact that she got a lot of work, her work cut out for her. But I'm hearing that Wanda exposed Tisha for getting a BBL and all of this stuff, and I was just like, this is so messy. If y'all don't know, Love and Hip Hop, Love and Marriage Huntsville is messy on the screen and messy off the screen. There has been a lot of stuff happening this week for the last couple of weeks with the cast members, with bloggers. Some blogger called Wanda Out talking about they want to do a boxing match for charity. I'm watching all of this stuff and I'm just like, this is all way too much. Way too much. So I've decided to just personally not really discuss so much of what's happening off the screens with the bloggers and these people, because it's just gonna give me a headache and it's not necessary. But they start talking about Tish being a personal trainer and you know, Stormy wanting to be in a competition, and they all feel like they got their work cut out for them. And then they start talking about her marriage and her separation. And I'm just like, see, why? Every scene that we see her in, everywhere that we see, like, we constantly have to talk about this separation ship. And I'm just like, we don't care about her personal life. Can leave her alone, but whatever. You know, I guess Tisha's liquid courage kind of like kicks in now because she starts getting feisty and talking about how Nell is feisty and, you know, she always got something to say and this and that. And then she starts off with Stormy and they talk about the reunion and the fact that she sent her the text and she was weirded out. And it was just a whole bunch of talking. And they were not listening. They were just talking at one another and not listening. So I had to rewind it to hear what they were saying. But they still wasn't really talking about nothing. They was just really talking about the fact that Tisha is standing on business and trying to hold Stormy accountable because, you know, Stormy said they wasn't friends and they wasn't cool after the reunion. And then Stormy trying to stand on business talking about she said what she said, and you know, you said something about some pill popping and you need to explain yourself. It was just back and forth, unnecessary, and it doesn't even feel like it was resolved. Then Stormy goes and talks to Marsau, and Marsau kind of like pushes it on Tisha, trying to make it seem like it's all about Tisha. And of course he's not supporting her, and it was just so weird and stupid. It kind of gets a little bit ugly because they start arguing. It was like all of them was arguing. It was like Tisha was arguing with Stormy, then Tisha was arguing with Nell, and then they was trying to bring Mel into it. It was just too much. Kimmy was trying to like calm them down, but everybody was saying the same thing, that Tisha was doing too much, which she was. She was doing way too much, girl. You was doing too much. And you trying to act like you didn't have liquid courage, girl. You was throwing them back, and you did, because normally you be quiet as a church mouse. So get over it. I think she mad because everybody kept saying last season she was a punk. She let Kiki do what she wanted to do, and you know she ain't gonna do nothing. Everybody say that she not gonna do nothing, and she trying to prove that I'm not that type of person. I am gonna do something. I am about it. I feel like that's what you're trying to do. But it is what it is, girl. We've already formulated our opinion about you. It's not going to change. It's not going to change no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you try to make us think that you're about that life. We still not going to believe it, girl. Whatever. Just move on and just let it go. If you don't address it, the situation then and there, you ain't going to address it, girl. Let it go. Goodbye. So that was the end of episode 6. We're going to get into episode 7 in the next video, and I will see you guys for the next one. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will definitely see y'all in the next one. Peace.